I want to talk about the metaverse. The logo for the metaverse depicts the infinity symbol, the Ouroboros symbol, which means the dragon or the snake or the serpent eating its own tail, consuming its own tail. It's a definition for self-reference, and I think the bigger picture of this is that this will be the new world order, the final world order that man will ever see. For those dumb enough and passive and weak enough to actually submit themselves to this order, I'd rather be dead. But it's a world order that the elites of the world claim or anticipate that will be everlasting, that will last forever. They think they'll reign forever here on earth with their god Lucifer. He will be the one world political ruler, the Antichrist, as what the Bible in the book of Revelation says. I think that's his promise that he gives to his followers that help him carry out this new world order. And that's also another promise that elites give to people that sell themselves out to them, to actors, musicians, people in Hollywood, in the entertainment industry, that help them carry out their agenda through movies, music, entertainment, art. Because here in America, our influence is felt all around the world through Hollywood, and they're owned by the fake Jews, the synagogue of Satan. We're contaminated, infiltrated with Judeo-Christianity, with interfaith dialogue. I think right now in New York City, Zoran Mamdani is having an interfaith meeting. New York will surely crumble. You gotta have one faith, one belief system. Diversity isn't strength. It's literally diverse to divide. But this digital infrastructure will be built from renewable and sustainable energy, from what they call pure clean energy. And it will be built because our universe and its physical infrastructure is vulnerable to earthly calamities, earthly catastrophes. And who knows if the world elites manufacture these problems or if they're naturally occurring. Global warming, climate change, air pollution, greenhouse gas effects, ice melting in the Antarctica. That's why they say, hey, reduce your carbon footprint, eliminate your carbon footprint. The United Nations calls us a global citizen, a United Nations ambassador, a good little puppet, a good little spineless little weasel, a dweeb. A democratic liberal dweeb. That's why they say you will own nothing and be happy. And that's why they have their 2030 renewable and sustainable goals, because that's what it means. This clean, pure energy, we already have solar panels. That's already hot in the mix. People are embracing that. And who knows, that can be a subtle reference to Osiris rising. Osiris, the sun god, he was a green god of fertility, of agriculture. That's why do you think they say, hey, go green, save the planet, save the trees, recycle. go online, get emails and not by mail. Download our app, companies and corporations say. You'll get a 10% initial discount whenever you download our app. Meanwhile, you're giving them all of your data, all of your personal info. Thus, they're able to create a personalized website app for you. A personalized world. The digital world. The metaverse. The society that we'll all live in someday. That's what it means by self-referential. Everything is done through personalization because you're feeding the beast. You're feeding this machine. It's learning all of your whereabouts, all of the things you like, that you dislike, and it'll feed that more into you, thus enabling you to go online, to stay online. Because why do you have to be out in the real world? Outside where things matter. You will own nothing and be happy. You will be in the digital world, in the matrix, in the metaverse. It's funny because they're selling this digital utopia that they want us to live in as the escapee of the matrix, whenever it's actually, in fact, pushing you into the matrix forever and ever. And they'll give you an RFID chip to have you emerged, interconnected, whereby they can control you, monitor your thoughts, record everything that you do. The prefix meta in metaverse means above and beyond. Why do they call it metaverse? And why, again, that depiction, that symbol, the ancient Ouroboros symbol, snake eating its own tail? I think it's tied into the Seal of Solomon, the original Freemason Masonic Brotherhood. I think from the Temple of Solomon it went to Knights Templar, then to Freemasons, and the black cube of Saturn, the black hole sun, the dark sun, the cube of Saturn. I think you could also see the swastika logo in there as well. The Ouroboros symbol, snake eating its own tail. That references a system that will be forever. It won't die out. It's not vulnerable like this current system being threatened by global warming and all this stuff. It'll withstand all of that. At least that's their justification. That's what they say. They plan to destroy the universe and make us desperate to go into their metaverse, to their technology. These are the plans that technocrats, futurists have for us. Because it will literally be that a higher realm, a higher state of consciousness, a higher plane of existence, hence meta and metaverse. It won't be the universe. Unit means one, and I think that it exemplifies, it points to the creation of a creator, of the creator, God of the Bible. Unit means one, and verse is a line in poetry, a rhythmic metric, a line in poetry, and only a poet, an intelligent poet with a spirit could write poetry and have it mean something. Thus, the poet is the engineer of that poetic verse. And we see that the world, its creation, the trees, the sky, the oceans, the animals, the plants, they're all poetry. Look how they dance together, how they're made and how they function. You know, photosynthesis in the human body, men, women, all that's pretty. Yeah, there are some things wrong, but that's called sin. That's what, what happened in the Garden of Eden. That's why we have evil and all this stuff. But all this points to the creation of the Creator. And thus universe. Well, if you destroy this universe, and the Bible says that Satan is the god of this world, he's the king of this world, that it also says that the kings and queens of the world plot that they conspire to rule against the Lord. So they plan to vanquish, to demolish the universe in order to pave way for the metaverse. They say reduce your carbon footprint. That means us. Doesn't Georgia Guidestones say that it wants like 500 million people on the planet? Unite humanity under one living language. The prefix trans in transcendence means the same thing, above and beyond. Thus, transcendence, transhumanism, transgender, above and beyond this physical, material realm, plane of existence. Deny your physical senses what you see, what you hold to be true. 2 + 2 = 4. Deny that. Just like in the Orwell novel, at the end of the novel, Orwell says that how could I tell you that 2 + 2 = 5 whenever my brain, my senses tells me that 2 + 2 = 4. And the guy that was electroshocking Orwell, he said, well, if the state tells you something, then it's right. Well, that's the same scenario that we have going on right now. Thus, transgender, it's trans. The prefix, again, means above and beyond. It wants you at a higher state of consciousness. Basically opening your third eye, your pineal gland. And in this perspective, in this perception, in this mindset, in this state of consciousness, you perceive everything and everyone to be one. That's why we have veganism, people that don't eat meat, and all this other stuff. It's that came weren't Theosophists, that movement started by Alex Bailey, or what's that other occultist, Helena Blavatsky. Wasn't she a vegan? It's where you see everything and everyone in terms of energy, not matter. Not their concrete material form like how we see today, a house, a car, a person, race, ethnicity, skin color. Prince, in his album, The Rainbow Children, he wrote a song about that. At the end of that album, there's a song where the chorus or the choir, they sing together, one, 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 one. It's very, very dark. It's disguised as something very good, as like a spiritual revolution album, but it's for those, if you know, then you know. Put it that way. But yeah, that's in this metaverse. Lucifer promises his followers, his elites that carry out his quest for a new world order. He promises them eternity through transcendence, transhumanism, and we all know in their occult rituals they do behind closed doors. It's young, fresh blood. The blood of children. That's another deception that they believe in, where they can live forever. Look it up. There's even technocrats. I mean, this is a baby step form compared to what they actually do. This is just a beginner's level thing, but there's even rich Silicon Valley investors and billionaires who are supposedly injecting themselves with their teenage kids' baby so they could live longer and look healthier, look younger. So a little manifestation, if you will, a little fruition of that's already happening. But behind closed doors, that's literally what the occult believes in. Young, fresh, innocent blood that they can live forever. The blood of children, the blood of babies. And again, we already have technocrats, people in Silicon Valley, billionaires doing that with their teenage kids' blood. A lot of people are doing it. There's many articles about that. For those who know, then you know. Superman is the Antichrist. Neo from the Matrix is the Antichrist. And they're painted as a good thing, but no, they're the Antichrist. And what did they have in common? Transcendence, transhumanism. That will be the answer that the world will sell to mankind.